Fighty Radio.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this new edition of 5 Round MMA. My name's Alex Ramirez.
Do you see me now?
Hi, me, my co-host Guillermo Cita Alvarez. This is episode number 2 for this week. We were gone on vacation for the summer, about 2-3 weeks off. Albert was in Oregon. Guillermo was in Vegas. I was, wandering LA, Hollywood for a little bit. Now we're convened back to the studios here at 5 Round MMA. Earlier this week, we had a UFC 200 recap show. So if you want to check out our thoughts and reactions to UFC 200, go find that on our podcast at Podomatic, our YouTube page, and at FiveRoundMMA.com. But this episode is going to be International Fight Week recap and the legacy of Jon Jones and the whole PED and how is USADA affecting MMA. So let's go ahead and get started. Round number 1. International Fight Week kicked off pretty good with Fight Pass, Fight Night.
Did you catch at least the beginning part of Fight Week?
No, I didn't know. You know what? No, because I left on Sunday of 4th of July, and then the fight week started Monday, technically Tuesday.
So they're kind of just setting up for it, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can start seeing banners and stuff like that being placed up, and I did see the T-Mobile, and that's exactly where the area I was at, the T-Mobile Arena. And I told you guys, I really didn't see much hype the week before.
Yeah, it's all
but then you look at all the social media, and I mean, like, it was pumping all week.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and start round number 1. I'm going to reset the clock for me. So Fight Week kicked off with a Fight Pass exclusive Fight Night card. It's a lot of fights in that Fight Week. Fight Pass Fight Night. That was main evented between lightweight champion Rafael Dos Anjos and former Bellator lightweight champion Eddie Alvarez and current reigning defending new champion Eddie Alvarez. I think
don't ever associate Eddie Alvarez with Bellator anymore.
I'm sorry. Okay, no, he's no longer. So this comes as a shock to you guys. Eddie Alvarez knocking out Rafael Dos Anjos.
Knocking out, yes, but but Eddie Alvarez.
How he did it was surprising.
Yeah, how he did it was surprising. I think everybody took Eddie Alvarez from our picks. Yeah. And the reason why is that Eddie Alvarez is very well at sticking to a game plan and staying with it. He's not gonna go away from it. He's a very intelligent guy. From what I've seen in his fight. So, I wasn't surprised that he was going to be Rafael Dos Anjos.
Albert, you surprised? No, you picked him, but like...
Yeah, no. It sucks when I have to agree with Guillermo over here, but I was surprised with how he finished him. I knew he was going to win. I knew he was a more talented wrestler. I knew his striking was more crisp than Rafael Dos Anjos. And I knew he had more energy than Rafael Dos Anjos. The power is the only thing I might have gave Rafael just a little bit more. But I saw Eddie Alvarez winning. I was surprised that it was by TKO. What an amazing performance. And it's funny because what did I tell you? As soon as Eddie Alvarez... what did I tell you?
He did the text, the group
Go back to the tapes. Go back to the YouTube footage.
Bellator lightweights are the best.
I said it. The lightweights at Bellator are no joke. These guys can run down any UFC fighter, and Eddie Alvarez proved it. And if Eddie Alvarez has done this well in the UFC,
Brooks can do it too.
Well,
that's later on. That's round number 3, Carol.
But my boy
Michael Chandler.
Imagine what he would do in the UFC. Come on, guys.
So that was kind of the knock.
I'll give props to Eddie Alvarez. He went through a freaking meat grinder. I mean, think about everybody that he had to go through to be the champion. I mean, like, this is the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
Of 155, except for Khabib Nurmagomedov. That's the real dark horse. That's the real champ at the 155 UFC.
Is Eddie Alvarez just holding the belt from or what?
Yeah, Eddie Alvarez is holding the belt from, my opinion. But, I got to give props to Eddie Alvarez. But, some people can move on and be, adjust to the lights, the jitters, everything that is the UFC. And, I mean, like, can Will Brooks or Michael Chandler, I know we're going to talk about Will Brooks a little bit later, but can they go through the same meat grinder as Eddie Alvarez? I mean, Will Brooks didn't get freaking straight off the back. What was it? Gilbert Melendez?
Yeah, Ross Pearson.
He got Ross Pearson. So I mean, like, just look at the level of.
Yeah, true. I mean, Eddie Alvarez came in.
Like, Eddie Alvarez coming in.
His last 5 fights. His last one in Bellator was against Michael Chandler, which he won. Came in his first fight in the UFC against Donald Cerrone. Gilbert Melendez, Anthony Pettis, and then Rafael Dos Anjos. So this, like, he has fought at least the top 5 lightweights in the world.
Yeah.
So to me, can Will Brooks, can Michael Chandler beat? And let's just start off from the beginning. Donald Cerrone straight off the UFC debut.
Yeah.
I mean, that's hard to
And
ask.
it was a decision loss too.
Yeah.
He didn't finish them. So I mean, MMA fans know the journey Eddie Alvarez took. I mean, this guy, he was before Michael Chandler, he was the poster boy of Bellator, and then I think him and Michael Chandler put themselves on the map with the epic wars they had together, and then. I think too, he kind of got embraced more by the MMA fans was when the whole contract situation with Bellator. Remember, he got set out for a whole year, I think.
Yeah.
Because no, you can't fight with anywhere except for us. And he came back and kind of wholeheartedly fought just to fight, and he recaptured the Bellator title. And then I'm out of here now. I'm going to the UFC. And then he appreciated the fact that he fought Donald Cerrone. He fought all these guys. Give me the top. He said, don't ease me in. I want to know what I can do. And we had this talk. Can Bellator fighters? It's not even so Bellator fighters. It's kind of the top of the top.
Yeah. Can other organizations have already established stars?
Yeah.
Because I think the thing that people think of UFC is they get them before they're stars. And UFC makes them into stars. Because there's only been a very, very few select that were stars outside and then came in, but didn't have that much success.
Yeah.
I think that's why Eddie Alvarez is a special case, because he was one of those guys that was an established star by another organization, came in and continued to.
But UFC has that track record. I mean, they bought a WEC, and these guys became all champs in the UFC level.
Yeah, but the argument can be made that UFC made those guys, not necessarily the WEC.
Yeah, I mean,
Uriah Faber was already a star.
Yeah,
Showtime Anthony Pettis was already a star, I think.
Well, you had like Luke Rockhold and Daniel Cormier. They were in
but they were not
Strikeforce,
stars.
but they weren't stars.
They were not stars.
Well,
They didn't have the credibility because of the Strikeforce, because of World Series of fighting, Bellator. I mean, sometimes they get a bad cred because they feel like the stars aren't there.
Yeah.
Or if, talent is not there, but talent is there.
Well, anyways, congratulations for Eddie Alvarez. Good to see you, guy. I've always been a fan of his. So, and Rafael dos Anjos, the weeks didn't start very good for the Brazilian fighters, but it ended out pretty nice for him. So that's it for round number one. Round number two, we're going to talk about Joann Jedrzejczyk or something. Joanna J is going to be on this show, and her continued dominance as strawweight champion. Do not go anywhere. Time for round number two. Fight week continued on Friday with the Tough 23 finale. I want to point out a former guest of ours, Eddie Sanchez, actually won.
Andrew Sanchez won
the light heavyweight tough contract.
Not even in his weight class.
Yeah, he's a former RFA champion. Fought in the RFA, so we interviewed him before. So congratulations to him. Also, Kevin Lee, our boy. Continues with
first guest ever.
6-7, I think he's won now. He's getting better. Guillermo, scouted Kevin Lee out of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
Found him on YouTube, I think. How'd you find him?
No, on Twitter.
And you looked at his videos, and this guy's legit. And look at he's in UFC, he's winning 6 out of 7. So the Tough 23 finale was main evented by Joann Jedrzejczyk against Claudia Gadelha. Pretty good rivalry, I thought. These when Conor McGregor was gone, not doing when he was in training and in absence, I think they picked up the slack for this, the trash talking.
Yeah.
Joanna and Claudia. But the same results came out for Joanna. She dominated Claudia. Her stand-up is amazing. So crisp. Muay Thai is just unbelievable. She continues her dominant run. And I think she is the next big star in the UFC. She's charismatic. She's got a cool style. Unique, different style of her own. And she kicks butt in the octagon. But I kind of think now is the time for her to push her. I mean, Paige Van Sant is the face of the strawweight division, obviously, for a reason. I mean, she's in the commercials, Dancing with the Stars. She's, she's also charismatic as well, very photogenic. But I think the champion needs to be in the spotlight, right? Or was that just me?
No, yeah, you're right. I mean, I think Joanna has a spotlight a lot more than Paige Van Sant.
I want to see her Metro PCS commercials.
The real question is she appealing enough for some of these
casual?
Yeah, for the casual fans. I mean, like if you're talking about diehard fans, I mean, like Joanna J, I would rather see Joanna J any day of the week than Paige Van Sant. But if you're talking about like marketability, you're talking about looks and stuff like that. I mean, we saw Paige Van Sant Dancing with the Stars. Why didn't they call Joanna J?
Well, I'm just dancing.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, like it's just the perception of sometimes the beauty outside the ring.
Yeah.
I think the thing is too with Joanna, which I'm a huge Joanna J fan, is she hasn't decided to be a heel or a face. Let's really think that. you saw some glimpse of a heel. But then,
During the
but
Ultimate
sometimes
Fighter,
she likes to be. She still kind of is like a fan favorite.
Yeah.
As far as doing the right stuff. So it's like I think she just has to pick what persona. I think when Conor McGregor selected his character and this is how I'm going to be perceived, and he went for it, money.
Yeah.
And I think Joann Jedrzejczyk just has to decide.
Yeah.
Do I want to be that screw you whatever or
cocky champion?
Yeah. But
yeah, I think
we've seen different faces of Conor McGregor. I mean,
but we know
after he loses.
But come on, Conor McGregor established a character already.
I think Joanna has already established a character. I think you're just taking it to the personal level, like of who this person is, not what the character of Joanna is.
Well, she was upset with. She said that the editors of Tough
made her look bad.
But everybody
said
it. Yeah.
Everybody that did like reality shows, they always look bad. But I'm not lying. I'm pretty sure everyone's like that. Yeah. I'm pretty sure if they did a reality show on us, I'll look like the biggest jerk in the world, and they'll perceive me wrong. But I'm not gonna lie to you. They're probably right.
So she's undefeated, 12-0. 7 decisions, but like her decisions are just nasty. The fighters just get beat up by it. Now it's pretty much. I think. What do you guys rank her among current UFC champions? I personally have her number 2 behind Mighty Mouse as the most dominant champion. Maybe even 2 or 3 with Robbie Lawler, but I think I have her number 2.
I don't even have Robbie Lawler on the list.
You have to. He's a current champion.
Okay.
Rank all the current champions. Where does she stand?
It's like it's the whole thing with the Mighty Mouse over again. I think that the division's too new that we don't give enough respect to because we don't know some of these people they're fighting or coming up, whatever. But the fact that they're pretty much erasing their division is something to say.
Right when it started. Yeah.
So but yeah, it's a tough one. She has to be top 5. I feel very safe saying that.
Number 2, I agree with you. I mean, like, think about long reigning champs. I mean, we're down to Mighty Mouse, and now the second. Robbie Lawler and Joanna J.
Dominic Cruz just came back.
Yeah, so.
I think like I said, she's a budding star. I think UFC needs to invest more in her outside the octagon. Just to get her out, not just in Europe. I'm pretty sure she's huge in Poland and Europe, but like get her out here in the US. I want to see her more. I want to see her on Metro PCS commercial and all that stuff. So, well, hopefully that comes around for her very soon because I think she has all what it takes to be a star. So, speaking of maybe upcoming stars, a new debut happened for the UFC during the International Fight Week. Former champion Will Brooks, and I want to ask you guys if maybe he has the potential to be a star in the UFC. So do not go anywhere. Time for round number 3. So we saw a former Bellator lightweight champion stake his claim to the current UFC lightweight championships, and then another former Bellator lightweight champion made his debut in Will Brooks by defeating Ross Pearson. Will Brooks just decided, you know what, I'm done with Bellator. I'm gonna walk away. I want to be, to paraphrase him, I want to be where the big boys play. So he walked away from Bellator, vacated his championship, and now he fought Ross Pearson and won a decision victory. So just thoughts on Will Brooks' debut in the UFC and if he has a chance to be a star and a champion.
Does he have a chance? Yes. Does he have a chance to be a star? Yes. Was I impressed? Not really. I mean, Ross Pearson's there. I mean, he's not ranked.
He's a tough dude.
But yeah, he's a tough dude, but he's not ranked. So Will Brooks did what he was supposed to do. Now, does that translate into success? I mean, he has to go through the meat grinder that Eddie Alvarez has gone through. I mean, like, give him Donald Cerrone. I mean, Cerrone's fighting in a heavier weight class right now. But I mean, like, if he's, I don't, until he fights that top 5 guy, will I really get a better read on where Will Brooks is heading towards. Right now, Kevin Lee's in a heated Twitter battle with
that's what's fun about Will Brooks though, because like I said, as a star, he's pretty impressive on Twitter.
Yeah,
Will Brooks is very impressive on Twitter.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, like until we see him in the top 10. Or at least fighting top 10 guys, will I really have an idea of does Will Brooks really have a 50% chance, a 90% chance of being a successful star in the UFC?
Well, I know like this just to Kenny right now when he said who he should fight next. I don't know where he's at now because he just lost his opponent Michael Chiesa. But what's up with Tony Ferguson?
El Cucuy.
I mean, I want to see Will Brooks versus El Cucuy. That'd be good.
That'd be
a super good test for Will Brooks.
But that'd be a little bit unfair for El Cucuy. I mean, El Cucuy, you're talking about Khabib Nurmagomedov, or
Sure,
even
well,
for the belt, and now you're going to drop him now to Will Brooks.
Well, they're giving Michael Chiesa for some reason. I don't know why, but I mean, just because Michael Chiesa called him out, and then okay, let's do it.
I think one thing's clear with the introduction of Will Brooks is this 155 division. At one point, it was like I don't know about the division. It got rebuilt, and I think it's stacked now.
Yeah.
We're back to what it used to be, and I think there's a lot of interesting matchups. The fact that you guys are going back and forth on 3, that shows you that this was a well-placed move by both Will Brooks and the UFC. And Will Brooks is 29, so that's supposed to be he's about his prime. This is when he's supposed to show his whole athletic ability. But
a new champion to Eddie Alvarez. So
but the one thing I do want to, I guess most people might like. I don't want people to think that Will Brooks was like a finisher. He was never known as finisher, even though his biggest win, which was against Michael Chandler, was a finish.
Yeah,
he wasn't known as a finisher. He's one of those guys that will just like beat you up
like a Benson Henderson. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. So, but exactly. That's a good point there, and that's the one thing I want people to get misled with Will Brooks when he comes. Would he get a finish? Yeah, he has more than possible to get, but he isn't known for that finishing quality.
But no, he doesn't put on boring fights either. He's an exciting fighter.
Exactly.
So, like when Will Brooks announced he was going to UFC, I was excited for the guy.
Yeah.
I think a new face. I mean, like Anthony Pettis is gone. Benson Henderson's gone. Don Cerrone, they're all left the lightweight division. I mean,
but you still have some people that kind of are forgotten. Gilbert Melendez, Nick Diaz. I mean,
Khabib too. Like Khabib is just scratching the surface, man.
And Khabib right now, from what I've heard, is that he's not going to fight anybody until he gets his title shot.
Okay.
So that's what I've heard in terms of rumors. But Khabib will. I mean, Tony Ferguson versus Khabib has been scheduled twice.
Yeah.
And both times has been postponed or canceled.
And then you got the very strong rumors of Conor McGregor entering 155 too. So I mean, this could be like a resurrection of this lightweight division.
Yeah.
But
Nate Diaz is still in this. He's still in this weight class, guys.
And then you got Bobby Green, Michael Johnson.
Green,
if you start adding people, so I mean, like for Will Brooks to just immediately say that he's going to be a superstar in the UFC.
Dustin Poirier just got introduced to this weight class.
Yeah. Let's relax now.
And then he did call out Eddie Alvarez after he defeated Ross Pearson. So, and there's always the hopeful return of Diego Sanchez, but I don't think.
And we still got Guillermo's Jersey boy, La Quinta still.
Still. And then Frankie Edgar returns at 155.
I don't know if that's gonna happen, bro. Frankie Edgar's gonna go either 145 or go to 135, right, Albert?
But to answer your initial question, yes, I was excited.
So you think
glad to see
all those
Brooks.
names that we just said? You think Will Brooks would be?
I don't know, but there will be very good matchups, and I'm excited to see any of them.
Yeah, so Fight Fan should be very excited for Will Brooks to be there. So we're gonna actually take a small break and then come back, and we gotta talk about it. It was not really old news, but it's big enough news where we gotta talk about Jon Jones and his PED allegations. So we're gonna spend the championship rounds talking about that. Do not go anywhere. Time to enter the championship rounds. So rounds 4 and 5 are around the same topics. Jon Jones getting busted for potential PED usage and being pulled from UFC 200. You guys can hear our recap of UFC 200. Just find us on YouTube. We did a special UFC 200 recap episode and this one this week. But he got busted for potential usage. Both his A and B samples
came out positive.
Jon Jones denies ever taking anything, knowingly taking anything. He was crying. He was crying. I don't know if they were crocodile tears, but he was crying. He apologized to everybody. But the USADA, I mean, they've been on point, guys. I mean, they've been ruining a lot of fights, but people are happy with their work, right? Are you happy with their work?
Yeah, I mean, like, we just wanted, and not just fans, but fighters also wanted just a fair playing field. I mean, like, it's crazy how some of these guys, you talk about, like, Vitor Belfort, unstoppable when he's on TRT, and then all of a sudden looks human again, or now it seems like he's not on this monster reign, and now given his level, his age, the wear and tear, now you really start to see a real aged Vitor Belfort.
Yeah,
and I don't want to sound like a hater, but every single time I see these embedded and countdowns, and I see these athletes, I always know like there's superior athletes out there, But sometimes when I see these guys like go, I'm like, dude, what are they taking? Like
Yeah.
they got. I mean, they have some little secret in there that I never heard of, or maybe there's a vitamin that because these are.
Hey, Albert takes some creatine. He gets big.
Yeah.
I think remember one of the first sponsors we had when we first started the show was Honey Badger. Remember?
Yeah.
I don't know. You were a lead machine with Honey Badger.
If you go
Honey
back,
Badger's legit, man.
If you go back to some of the earlier shows I did Honey Badger, dude, I was lean and mean. I got off Honey Badger. I am no longer lean nor mean. But the other thing I want to do say real quick is there was an update on the thing that they're saying that his B and A sample both came out positive.
Yeah.
So if it all comes out that whatever it was, it could be a 2-year ban.
So yeah, that's it because Chad Mendes got busted a few weeks ago
Yeah.
too. He says he's going to open it. So I think he's gone for 2 years. But remember, Yoel Romero got busted, but he
Yep.
said that it was a tainted supplement that he wasn't aware had
Yeah.
in it. I think that might be what Jon Jones is trying to play because I think if you knowingly take something, that's a 2-year ban, right? But if you take something without knowing, then you get like a 6-month suspension. That's what they give to Romero. There's an exception. But it's kind of funny too. Like the day after his press conference, one of the supplement sponsors, Jon Jones, says it wasn't from ours, and he lit the whole thing of what everything we have in our supplements is compliant. So I don't know what he's taking, but it's not from our company.
And see, this tells me two things. One, their training is that hard that because I always try to put myself in the athlete's mind. Like, why would I take something I don't know?
Yeah.
But if your body's continuously beat up, you gotta hit the gym at 4 a.m. or 7 a.m. the next day.
2 a day, 3 days.
Like you think about it, and you're like, no, dude, I need whatever.
I don't even play soccer anymore, and I'll wake up so sore from
Exactly,
all the freaking wear and tear from playing college soccer.
It just seems crazy that you hear all these crazy. I took this, I took that. I can't even pronounce whatever the heck that was.
Like I barely stopped doing stop playing soccer, and I fucking gained so much weight.
Because your body's used to
bleep
sleep.
that. I said the F word.
But yeah, I mean, do you think are they overtraining? Because how many times you guys get hurt in training camp and like?
And to tell you the truth, I don't know how you fix this problem. Because I can't just be like, who is someone to say if you're a superior athlete, quit taking all this supplements and whatever? And you're like, dude, do you even know what I got to do to be this superior athlete?
Also, too, I think
it's a difficult thing to.
It's not anymore. Like I think the casual people might think, oh, he just injected himself. It's not. It's needles are gone now, right?
Yeah.
It's not. It's like these supplements have stuff in them that you take enough of them, they add equals something great.
It almost feels like maybe there could be every guy. You have your boxing coach, your wrestling coach. You're gonna have to get a nutrition coach.
Yeah.
Be like, okay, bro, you're in charge of all my supplement stuff. Here's the list that USCA day that said that they banned. Just feed me what's legal.
Yeah. Well, the problem is not for the high athletes. The problem is for these up and coming rising athletes that can't afford a nutritionist.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, for Jon Jones, there's no excuse. I mean, he should have a driver. He should have a nutritionist. He should have a boxing coach. He should have every single coach you can think of. He's making that much amount of money.
Yeah.
And not like again, like not to throw shades on you. If you look at Jon Jones over the years, the guy has gotten so much muscle, so much definition. The guy looks like.
Well, I remember when he first started, he's
long and lanky.
Skinny Bone Jones.
Yeah, that was his nickname. Yeah.
So obviously, whatever he was taking looked like it was working.
But I mean, it's working. The guys are getting popped. I mean, no more IVs. Hopefully, weight cuts are being healthier now. So this is what we all want, and this is the consequences. So now we're starting to filter out the true fighters, the guys who really want to do it, and the guys who just take a quick fix. So
Michael Bisping should have been champion a long time ago.
All right, we got one more round coming up. We'll talk about the legacy of Jon Jones and where does he go from here, and where do we rank him at all time? Okay, so Jon Jones, welcome back, round number 5 here. Jon Jones gets popped, suspended, facing possible 2-year suspension. He is currently 28 years old right now. If everything comes back, you knowingly took something, you're gone for 2 years. He'll come back when he's 30, which is still
young,
prime age, but
I'm 30.
Don't
call me old.
With the coke, I mean, being a premier athlete though,
don't call me old yet.
You're not competing against 18-year-old trying to knock you out. With the cocaine, drugs, hit and run accident, and kind of this self-destructive attitude here.
Well, here's the real issue is that this guy's giving chance after chance after chance. It's like the whole Johnny Manziel thing. I mean, like if you're given a silver spoon and then you're just getting your hand slapped time after time after time, you really don't learn your lesson. Jon Jones obviously is not doing things correctly outside of the octagon, and before he for him to correct it, there has to be severe consequences. I mean, like if I was a UFC, I would cut him. I mean, like there's and go to Bellator, go to World Series of Fighting when you really want to come back. Open doors or whatever, but you have to prove yourself out there. I mean, like you got to start closing down these doors so people can start realizing that they need to change. And I don't think Jon Jones has gotten it. It still hasn't processed through his head that it's that whole he feels invincible type of thing. I mean, like this guy's always been a winner. I mean, when have you ever associated any failures with Jon Jones besides what he's going through right now? Right now, and he's only getting slaps on the hands.
And this is one of the main reasons I never got behind Jon Jones. This is exactly why, because I think I got a good fake radar. I know when I meet a lot of fake people.
Fake dar?
I don't know if it's because I've always been around the wrestling business. I can just tell when someone's being fake, bro. And that's and that's the one thing that always rubbed me the wrong way with Jon Jones. Like he tried to be like, "Oh, guys, I'm such a good guy. I'm John Cena." Even that's why John Cena rubs me so wrong, bro. He's fake. He's fake. I know it. And like always, time will tell how real of a person really is.
John Cena's real, dog.
No,
he keeps it real in the ring and outside the ring.
Fake. There's fake passion in there, bro.
But
fake passion.
with Jon Jones, was it almost too much too soon? It's the youngest champion of all time.
Yes
ever?
and no.
Well, like I said, he felt invincible, and he still feels invincible. He's still the best player.
The perfect. I mean,
example. Nike sponsorship, Gatorade sponsorship.
He's up there. When you talk about the greatest of all time, he has the potential of being greater than Anderson Silva. I mean, he has that potential, but will he ever get there? That's the real
Probably
question.
Not no more.
But that's been in his head since he was early on in his career.
Just to let you know too on that Anderson Silva thing. The reason Anderson Silva is so amazing, not only because of his finishes, that long streak he really had, and Jon Jones because of all the stuff
he started at a young age, really successful,
and he could have had that long streak, but he just.
Think about it. The only blemish is for almost killing a guy in the ring.
Yeah, but it's almost like when you start now, kind of remind me with Johnny Manziel, kind of triggered like the whole Jerry Rice, Randy Moss comparison, right? Like, so Anderson Silva is Jerry Rice, Randy Moss is Jon Jones. Like, Randy Moss had the potential to be as great or greater than Jerry Rice, but almost
went to the Oakland Raiders, and what happened? It was just wasted talent. And then he goes back to, and hopefully he has a resurgence, maybe like a Randy Moss. He goes to the Patriots and all of a sudden breaks the old time.
But by then it's kind of a little too late, right? Jerry Rice was too far ahead of him.
Correct. And another comparison I want to bring up too was the whole Phil Davis and Jon Jones. Phil Davis was a talented fighter that was gradually given to us, where Jon Jones was just right off the bat.
Because he was just so spectacular.
Yeah. And like you said, maybe that's what maybe it really is. Maybe that's why Johnny Manziel, you just get too much hype, bro. And
it's just funny because
the human mind can only take so much.
But we still don't know if he took this stuff knowingly.
Well, both samples look like they came out positive.
But it doesn't mean like he. But
let's do it past. He got with drugs in his vehicle. He almost killed a lady, broken her arm and stuff like that, and he didn't face any prosecution.
All these things sound to me stuff that could have been avoided. The guy has enough money and resources that he could have had a driver, right? When it comes to this banned substance thing, he has enough money and resources. I really do feel like maybe not every fighter can have one. He could have had
when you're that big,
nutritionist that did everything. I'm pretty sure he could. I'm
sure he can afford Michael Dolce.
And I'm pretty sure Mayweather and all these other like high caliber combat fighters have those people.
The other thing too is he has connections with professional brothers.
Yeah,
his brothers are professional athletes in the NFL. I mean, like I'm sure there's kind of.
I mean, the NFL has drug usage. Just being like, especially like performance enhancement.
But from what I've heard, is the NFL is just as strict or even stricter.
It's just even like people like Kobe Bryant, LeBron James. I'm pretty sure they have people where they don't have to worry about what
he has the connections. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, he has the resources, and the guy didn't take it. So. Yeah, it sucks that if it wasn't.
Now the real question is Chandler Jones and his other brother are they taking it? We
don't know. The NFL's drug policy is a joke.
Exactly.
So I mean, it puts a black eye not only in Jon Jones but the whole Jones Jones family.
Yeah, I think it's funny too because when you think of martial arts, I know you think of like self-discipline and respecting yourself and your opponent, and like Jon Jones doesn't really. project that, does he?
No,
like self-discipline.
he
You think
doesn't.
I'm a
I'm
martial
tell you right
artist,
now,
self-discipline.
The only thing I've ever taken is pre-workout, and if there's a banned substance on that list, bro, then I'm positive.
Yeah, all right, that's it for this week's show, or for this show anyways. We had 2 shows this week, so make sure you catch them both. Until then, make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at FiveRoundMMA. Like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on iTunes, YouTube, and Podomatic. And please visit FiveRoundMMA.com. You can also check out this podcast and many other great podcasts at FivebookMMA.com under the podcast page. And a big, huge thank you to all of our sponsors. First with Rocky and Green eco-friendly cleaner products, the 5 Rounds clothing line, and of course, the RMA Foundation, Redemption Martial Arts, Rise Up Against Bullying. Albert, what do you got?
I just hope no one gets popped in the wrestling classic cruiserweight tournament because I really want to see that tournament finish.
The Cruiserweight Classic?
Yeah. Hopefully no one gets popped on that.
I think so. Those little guys are clean.
You can't see me.
You are now listening to Afro Mighty Radio.